How many times can I say nipple and breast in this video? If nipple and breast makes you feel uncomfortable, you should probably just stop watching this. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 tips for how to breastfeed successfully. So my first tip is to try to breastfeed within the first hour of giving birth. Try not to take any pain medication. Pain medication can make you loopy, and it can also cause the baby to be loopy. Breastfeeding is harder and it's not as easy for you both to learn. My second tip is if you are experiencing any sort of trouble at all after the first 3 or 4 days, you need to get your butt in to see a lactation consultant. Do not wait. I waited for 3 weeks, suffered an incredible amount of pain, and I just thought it was normal. Finally went to see a lactation consultant. She caught Graham's tongue tie. So basically what a tongue tie is when they have like that little thing, like that thing right there under their tongue. It's sealing their tongue shut, like it's very, very short, and so they can't stick their tongue out all the way. And they need to be able to stick their tongue out to get a correct latch for when you're breastfeeding. So after that lactation consultant caught his tongue tie, I went and I got it clipped, and then it literally took us I think it was like 2 or 3 more months to actually retrain my son in how to breastfeed. It was like we started from square one. My third tip, with that being said, is to, right when your baby is born, when they're doing the procedural checks, have them check for a tongue tie and a lip tie. Lip tie is the same thing, except it's that little thing up on the top of their lip. My fourth tip is that breastfeeding is not easy. I just thought it would be like so awesome. I'd be like, oh, my baby here, just like take my breast. That sounds really, it's not meant to sound inappropriate. I thought it would be easy, and it's not easy. Like, your baby and you, it's a learning curve. So learn and research as much as possible. My fifth tip is to invest in lanolin cream. That just helps when you get sore, cracked, bleeding nipples, and you will in the first couple days. That just really helps them to heal. Also, your breast milk, if you just squirt a little bit of breast milk out, it will, breast milk has like healing properties, and it will start healing the cracks and the tears as well. Also invest in a breastfeeding pillow. This is mine. So this is what it looks like. Again, there's a little clip right here on the side. This is the Breast Friend nursing pillow. This is the one I would suggest, and it just clips around your waist into here. It also has a pocket on the side. You can keep your lanolin cream right in that pocket. So let me show you guys how I put this on. I just put it like close to around the bottom of my breast, and then I attach it like that, and the baby sits right there, and it really gives the baby a lot of support. Tip number 6 is to make sure you get your baby's latch right. I'm going to show you with a binky how it should be. Here's the nipple, and then you want them to actually be on the breast. And so if they're on the nipple, they're going to be pinching your nipple, and that's where you get like a lot of the pain. They should be wide enough, their mouth should be wide enough to where they're around like your full breast. And if you have big areolas, that's fine. Like, just make sure they have enough of the breast in their actual mouth so they can suck. You actually have the milk ducts around, like underneath the areola, and they're out pretty far, and that's where the milk comes from. So as the baby's sucking, they need to squeeze those ducts in order to let the milk release. Milk is not going to get released if they're on the actual nipple part. So your baby, you need to make sure your baby opens really, really wide before they go onto the breast. And they'll naturally like open their mouth when you go to put them on. And then you'll start with their jaw kind of underneath the nipple, and then you'll push their head in, and right when their mouth opens, and they'll grab on. So the key is to do it right when you see them like rooting and opening their mouth, just like I would just get Graham's head and whack, you know, like, and babies are not as sensitive as we think they are. Sometimes you can just take your baby's head and be like, you know, like get on there. Like you have to go for it, because there's a short time window when they're opening their mouth wide to latch, and you just gotta go for it, girl. Tip number 7 is look for wet diapers. Typically, a newborn baby should be getting 1 wet diaper on day 1, 2 wet diapers on day 2, 3 wet diapers on day 3. Usually around day 3 or day 4 is when your milk will come in. The first 3 days, first 4 days, even up to the first week is your colostrum, which isn't your actual milk. And trust me, girl, you will know when your milk comes in. So when your milk does come in, your baby typically should be getting 5 to 6 wet diapers a day. That is how you can gauge if they're getting enough milk. Tip number 8 is to offer the baby both breasts at one feeding. A lot of times your body does not produce enough milk to only offer the baby one breast. Some women it is possible, but generally speaking, lactation consultants across the board will tell you offer both breasts. So when your baby, let's say your baby ends on your left breast, the last feeding session, you will want to start on your left breast. So always start where your baby finished. That is because you want to make sure your baby is draining all of your milk out so it prevents mastitis and other things that can come along with your breast being too full for too long. So always start where you finished. One good thing that can help you remember where you finished is like if you have different colored rings, like this ring right here is red and this is my wedding ring, you can switch fingers. So I always know whenever the red ring is on my left finger, red ring is where I want to start. Or you can do like a hair tie or a bracelet, whatever works. Tip number 9, I can't do that with my fingers. I'm like a little kid, I can't do that. Tip number 9 is to make sure you drink plenty of water. Your breast milk is actually made up of 88% water, guys. So if you're not drinking water, you're not going to be hydrated and your supply is gonna get really low really fast. My last tip number 10, is to not give up. You guys, if anyone should have given up, it was me. Like I was like the staple child for, okay, anyone would understand if I gave up. It's a learning curve. You need to remember that both you and your baby are learning. Be patient with your baby. He's learning just as much as you're learning. If you guys can't breastfeed for whatever reason, whether or not you have like a really low milk supply and it's just not cutting it, like do not feel guilty. That was one thing I really struggled with, was feeling so guilty and like almost like this condemnation. And we know condemnation is from the enemy, you guys. That's not from the Lord, and he doesn't want you to feel that way. And he will give your baby the nutrients your baby needs. And thank God that we live in a time where you can feed your baby formula and your baby's not going to die because breast milk is the only option for your baby. So thank God, as long as you're feeding your baby, that's the most important thing. I hope you guys have liked this video and gained some helpful tips from it. Good luck in your breastfeeding experience. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Subscriptions and thumbs up really help my channel. If you guys don't know what that's all about, I'm not trying to sell you a product. You're basically just saying, hey, I like your channel, I support you, and keep doing what you're doing. And that really encourages me. And I want to thank you, all of you out there. Every time I get a new subscriber, I get so excited. So thank you so much for being with me on this journey of my YouTube channel. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.